Hey, it's great to be with you again today. This morning I was having devotions and was reading in Exodus God's call on Moses. Moses has been in the wilderness for 40 years and he is tending sheep. And one day he's out there and this burning bush comes into view, right? Only it's weird because the bush is not burning up. And as Moses approaches the bush, he hears the bush say, Moses. Whoo, right? Shivers. It's God calling him. And he can't believe it. And God outlines everything that he wants him to do. And he starts to make excuses on why he can't do it. And God says, okay, here you go. Throw that rod that you're holding on the ground. It turns into a snake. And God says, pick it back up. He picks it back up and it turns back into a rod. Stick your arm in your cloak. Pull it back out. It's covered with leprosy. God says, put it back in. Pull it back out. It's totally healed. He says, I want you to go and tell Pharaoh to release my people. And Moses starts to go, nope, wrong guy. Can't do it. I'm a stutterer. Public speaking, failed it back in the day when I was a kid. I can't. I get in front of a crowd and I seize up. I can't do it. And God, God's shaking his head. Are you kidding me, dude? I have called you for a specific purpose, to free the Hebrews. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll provide your brother Aaron as a spokesperson for you. You will hear my message, you will relay it to Aaron, and he will promote it to the people. Finally, Moses says, okay. But he has argued with God and tried to weasel his way out of hearing God's call. And sometimes we read that and we go, I can't believe Moses is arguing with God. But don't we do the same thing? God calls us to get involved somewhere in ministry. He calls us to help with Sunday school. He calls us to sing in the choir. He calls us to be an usher. He calls us to work in the food pantry, to go visit the prisoner, to go visit the lonely or the lost or the elderly and the shut-in. Right? He calls us to be a part of these ministries somehow. And we start to make the excuse. Well, geez, I'm just so busy. Oh, look, would you look at the time? My schedule's just packed. And we start to make these excuses and we argue with God, even though we know that it's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. We're just afraid. We need to overcome our fear because God will provide us with what we need. Just as he provided Moses with what he needed, he was armed to go back to the Egyptians to give God's message to the people. God will give us what we need to get through and to be a part of the ministry that he's calling us into. If you love these vlogs, tell your friends and family about it. Go to Facebook, hit like, or go to YouTube to Pastor Joe Forwood, hit subscribe, and share it with all your friends and family. May God continue to pour out his grace, mercy, and blessings on each and every one of us until we get to meet again. Amen? Amen.